안녕하세요. 땡큐 할배톡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 오늘은 2024년 2월 24일입니다. 오늘도 역시 테드 강의 남기를 시작하겠습니다. 제목은 Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. When I was 27 years old, I left a very demanding job in management counseling for a job that was even more demanding, teaching. I went to teach 7th grade math in the New York City public school. Like any teachers, I made quiz and test. I gave out homework assignment. So when the work came back, I calculated the grade. What struck me was that IQ was not the only difference between my best and worst student. Some of my strongest performers did not have a stratospheric IQ score. Some of my smartest kids weren't doing so well. And that got me thinking. The kind of things we need to learn in 7th grade math, sure, they are very hard. Ratio, decimal, area of a parallelogram. But those concepts are not impossible. And I'm firmly convinced that every one of my students could learn that material if they work hard and long enough. Several more years of teaching, I came to conclusion that what we need in education is much better understanding of a student and learning from a motivational perspective, from a psychological perspective. In education, the one thing how to measure best is IQ. But what if doing well in education and in life depends on much more than your ability to learn quickly and easily. So I left the classroom and I went to graduate school to become a psychologist. I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings. In every study, my question was, who is successful here and why? My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy and we tried to predict which cadets would stay in military training and which would drop out. We went National Spelling Bee and we tried to predict which student advanced in farthest in competition. We studied rookie teachers working in very top neighborhood, asking which teachers are still is going to be here in teaching by the end of the school years, and of those, who will be the most effective at improving learning outcomes for their students. We partnered with a private company asking which of those sales people is going to keep their job and who is going to earn the most money. In all kinds of very different contexts, one characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. It wasn't social intelligence. It wasn't good looking, physical health. It wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for the long-term goal. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future. Day in, day out. Not just for the months, not just for the week, but for years. And working really hard to make that picture a reality. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. A few years ago, I started studying grit in Chicago Public High School. I asked thousands of high school juniors to take grit questionnaire, and then waited around more than 1 year to see who would graduate. Turns out, grittier kids are significantly more likely to graduate. Even when I matched them on every characteristic that I could measure, things like family income, achievement testing score, or even how safe kids felt when they are at school. It's not just at West Point and National Spelling Bee that grit matters. It's also in school. So, to me, the most shocking thing about grit is how little we know, how little science knows building grit. Every day, parents and teachers ask me how to build grit in kids. What do I do to teach kids work ethic? How do I keep them motivated for the long run? The honest answer is, I don't know. But what I do know is that talent doesn't make you grit. Our data show very clearly that there are many talented individuals that who do not follow through on their commitment. In fact, in our data, grit is usually unrelated or even inversely related to the measure of talent. So far, the best idea I've heard about building grit in kids is something called the growth mindset. This is an idea developed at Stanford University by Carol Dweck. It is the belief that the ability to learn is not fixed. It can be changed with your effort. Dr. Dweck has shown that when kids read and learn about the brain and how it changes and grows it in response to challenges, they are much more likely to persevere when they fail because they don't believe that failure is a permanent condition. So, growth mindset is the great idea for building grit, but we need more. That's where I'm going to end my remark because that's where we are. We need to take our best idea, strongest intuition, and we need to task them. And we need to measure what's being successful. And we have to be willing to fail, to belong, to take over again with lessons learned. In other words, we need to be greedy about getting our kid greedier. Thank you. 오늘은 6분이 좀 넘는 테드 강연을 선택해봤습니다. 오늘의 교훈은 그릿, 즉 근성이 성공을 좌우하는 가장 좋은 척도다라는 말이었습니다. 감사합니다.